On Saturday, 15th of April 1989 Cup semi-final between Liverpool and Nottingham Forest, due to kick-off at 3 p.m. The match was being held at Sheffield Wednesday Hillsborough Ground. All 54,000 tickets sold out. Liverpool fans were coming inside the stadium by one entrance called Leppings Lane. It included 7 turnstiles. 10,000 Liverpool supporters are stood up. Superintendent Roger Marshall makes several requests for the mission to open the exit gates to relieve the pressure inside the ground for central pens are filling up. Chief Superintendent Duckenfield gives the order and gates are open and more than 2,000 fans enter. A barrier breaks in pen 3 and people fall forwards. It also increases the pressure on those at the front as the crush intensifies. Some fans escape by climbing over the fence at the front of the pens. It became apparent. Here is an image depicting the live events where the fans were crushed with the metal fence. People were getting squashed to death alive as there was chaos and disorder everywhere. Stop the match at 6 minutes past 3. Desperate people are lifted over the top of the fences and fans in the upper stand pull others to safety. Try to free those at the front through the narrow gates near the pitch. There are not enough stretchers.
And the police are on the pitch to tell the referee to stop the proceedings because there is danger here that the crowd is going to encroach upon the pitch because of overcrowding at the back of the goal, and the referee is taking the players off the field. So this FA Cup semi-final has been interrupted after 6 minutes because of crowd problems here. Capacity of Hillsborough 54,101, and it would appear that too many of them are on that terrace behind Bruce Grobbelaar's goal, and Ray Lewis, the referee, is doing the sensible thing in taking the players away off the pitch until the South Yorkshire Constabulary sort out the problem.
Dozens of soccer fans have been injured and it's feared some killed when they were crushed by overcrowding at the FA Cup semi-final match between Liverpool and Nottingham Forest this afternoon at Hillsborough in Sheffield. It appears that non-ticket holders were able to get in together with legitimate ticket holders at the Liverpool end of the field. Advertising hoardings were used to take away the injured.
Court case Hillsborough victory. Liverpool Football Club have banned the Sun from their Anfield Stadium and Melwood training ground over the newspaper's notorious coverage of the Hillsborough disaster, in which 97 Liverpool supporters were unlawfully killed. The Sun will not be permitted to report on the club's matches from Anfield and be given no access to interview players or the manager, Jurgen Klopp. The decision is understood to have been taken by Liverpool's Boston-based owner, led by the financier John Henry, after club executives had discussions with families whose relatives were killed at Hillsborough at the 1989 FA Cup semi-final. Bereaved families, survivors and supporters have never forgiven the Sun for its coverage 4 days after the disaster, in which it ran extremely damaging allegations about Liverpool supporters' behaviour under the headline "The Truth," which are now established to have been false, told by unnamed South Yorkshire police officers. The Independent Police Complaints Commission has conducted a wide-ranging inquiry into which officers made the allegations as part of this criminal investigation into possible perverting of the course of justice by South Yorkshire police officers. The court heard that at the match on 15th of April 1989, a backlog built up at the turnstiles after the police, under Duckenfield's command, did not manage fans' approach with filters or cordons. No successful measures were taken to alleviate the crush that developed after 2:30 p.m. At 2:47 p.m, Superintendent Roger Marshall, on duty at the turnstiles, requested the large exit gates to be opened to allow people respite. Duckenfield declined. At 2:52 p.m, Marshall warned that somebody would die if the gates were not opened. Duckenfield then gave the order to open the gates. Gate C opened onto a concourse with a tunnel directly ahead, leading to the central pens. Many of approximately 2,500 people who came through Gate C, including 30 older people who were killed, went down the tunnel. The prosecution alleged that Duckensfield's failure to identify hazards at the turnstiles, monitor the numbers waiting to come in, relieve the pressures outside, monitor the numbers in the central pens and direct people away from the tunnel, and central pens amounted to gross negligence. Duckenfield pleaded not guilty arguing that the disaster was caused by other factors, including historic safety flaws of Sheffield Wednesday Stadium itself, and failings by some of the police officers. His barrister, Benjamin Myers, QC, pointed to Duckensfield's inexperience as a match commander and argued he was being held to a higher standard than others. Duckensfield was charged in relation to only 95 of the people who died. The 96th victim, Tony Bland, was critically injured in the crash and died in 1993 after life support was lawfully withdrawn. According to the law in 1989, a criminal charge relating to death could not be brought if the victim died longer than a year and a day after the acts that allegedly caused it. David Duckensfield was not guilty in the courtroom. These are the following 97 victims that died in this horrific accident.
David Duckensfield drew a breath and told the inquest, "I said something rather hurriedly, without considering the position, without thinking of the consequences and the trauma, heartache and distress that the inference would have caused. It was a major mistake on my part. I have no excuses. I apologise unreservedly to the families." He went on to tell the inquest, "That was a terrible lie. Everyone knew the truth. The fans knew the truth. The police knew the truth. It's fair to say that is arguably one of the biggest regrets of my life, that I did not foresee where fans would go." And he added, "With my limited ability as a match commander, it was a grave mistake and I apologise profusely. Take on the role of match commander given his limited experience. A mistake not to consider using cordons in the streets to control the movement of fans to the ground. A mistake not to control the numbers on the Leppings Lane terrace. A mistake not to take steps to close the tunnel to the terrace. And a mistake not to know the layout of the ground."
When you walk through a storm, hold your head up high and don't be afraid of the dark. At the end of a storm, there's a golden sky and the sweet silver song of love. Walk on